Hello, fabulous superstar Aries. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of November 2023. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. Boy, is this a special time. Well, on the 13th of the month, we do have this month's new moon, and it is a powerful one. I don't think there's going to be anybody out there who doesn't in some way experience the intensity, the quick turn of events, the drama that this new moon is promising. This new moon takes place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with profound change, profound truth. It has to do with the things that you consciously hold back, or the secrets that you keep. Power, how you understand it, how you wield it, the taboo. And it is also about financial institutions and your ability to access resources. So you can see that this is a very rich, like quite literally and figuratively rich part of your sky. Well, here are some key characteristics of this very powerful new moon. On one hand, it is close in the sky to Mars. And what that tells me is that whatever's taking place here is deeply meaningful to you. A lot of you is present for it, and it is affecting you powerfully as well, shaping you and changing you. But we've got this alignment across the sky from this new moon is Uranus standing with precision. That is energy that adds that wild card factor in there. It's not the easiest. I do want to be straightforward with that. However, what we also have as a saving grace is we get some harmonious connections with Neptune and Pluto as well to this new moon. And all of this does suggest that whatever's going to pop up, chances are there's a sudden aspect to it. However, in the midst of addressing it, not only do you find a sense of self, but you also find a sense of grace and personal empowerment as well. Especially intriguing with Mars so close in the sky to that new moon is that in and of itself can bring with it drama and intensity and impulsiveness. But it's that Uranus that really heightens that tendency to go full out impulsive that much more, especially for you. And so some ways this energy could play out for you. Well, I have to say, because Uranus is about everything coming out into the open, there might be things that you consciously keep that you don't necessarily want everybody to know. That's okay. Privacy is an important part of, well, just about everything, right? A part of child development, a part of human life as well. There are certain things to share in certain contexts, but what if things get a little bit mixed up? Well, if something does feel like it comes out, that it is shared, you will be able to address it. Chances are it'll be something that feels a little by surprise, and yet you find a way to use whatever comes forward, even if it has you feeling exposed or vulnerable in some way, to your advantage. Now, also possible here is a sense of you considering power differently, or confronting power, getting into some sort of a power dynamic with another in a way that you hadn't anticipated or hadn't expected. And yet here it is, a power struggle that you've got to deal with rather quickly, and suddenly you get to decide what you're going to do about it. What is it that you have previously felt was taboo to you? Well, that could open up in a big way for you now. Financial institutions, resources you have access to. The thing to remember is, when we have such strong financial energy, it means that the money you need is there. Sometimes you got to engage some spiritual learning in order to have it come together for you. And those spiritual lessons may show up very much out of nowhere, by surprise. But again, the money you need is there. You might be scrambling a little bit. You might have to address certain last minute matters, and yet you can have whatever resources you need come together for you now. The 27th brings a full moon in a communicative part of your sky. Again, Mars is involved here. Just 3 days earlier, your ruling planet Mars changes signs, moving into fellow fire sign Sagittarius. This actually works very much to your advantage. Mars comes out of spending about a month and a half in this really intense and transformative part of the sky where we get that new moon earlier in the month. He comes out of about a month and a half there and now enters a part of the sky that's worldly, it's adventurous, it's fun, it's open to excitement. And we get Mars opposite the full moon. Now, this full moon in that communicative part of your sky has to do with synchronicity, being in certain moments, certain places, and feeling like very quickly whatever's happening in some way is deeply relevant to you, even though it comes up rather spontaneously. Siblings, cousins, neighbors are covered here as well. And I have to say, it's very possible now that one of these key people behaves in a way that pushes your buttons or irks you, or maybe they feel like you've done something to push their buttons. And this is reactions and responses to or from these people that feel a little overblown. We've also got Saturn, though, speaking in tension with this full moon, which does suggest that a part of you may not feel like you can respond immediately. There might be a need for some restraint that actually could work to your advantage. One of these key people might be making very big life changes. It is a full moon. It tends to bring things to a close. So maybe some challenging situation in their life is coming to an end, or a neighbor just leaves, gets up and goes. There might be a part of you that feels like there's only so much power you can have in this moment, so much you can say or do. And there's value in allowing another to have agency as part of making their own choices. This has to do with documents. It has to do with learning, understanding, and just know that there's things here that, again, I'm seeing push buttons, I'm seeing getting riled up in a moment, but then realizing that, okay, it's one thing to feel it, it's another thing to show it. You may have to practice that restraint if you're going to get yourself to the longer term goals that you truly desire. So a contract comes up, there are things there that don't feel fair. You might not be able to respond in a moment, but being a little bit more strategic can move you closer to the type of agreement that you truly want. Now, where it comes to matters of love, on the 8th of the month, Venus changes signs, moving into your opposite sign for 4 weeks. This is beautiful for you, I have to say. It is other people responding in a way that is sweeter and lighter, and you feeling more at ease with the one-on-one alliances and partners in your life as well. This tends to set up a really beautiful period when you experience other people being more generous in some ways, especially emotionally, but it also helps to affirm a healthy sense of clarity on a heart level of what it is that you really want where it comes to aligning with other people. For those of you open to meeting someone new, this is wonderful energy for attracting someone who has real long-term potential. You are, just days later, going to have Mars move into an adventurous part of your sky. I spoke of that earlier. I think these energies are going to end up working really well for you because on the one hand, your ruling planet moving into this very optimistic, adventurous part of the sky is going to make you that much more open and find the pursuit exciting. But just Venus in your opposite sign makes it more likely to feel a real sense of connection with someone new. For those of you just starting to date someone, well, this becomes where it is that you start to consider whether or not this is a person who can be a real partner to you. If you feel that that potential is here, well, that obviousness will only be magnified. But if that potential is not here, that also really is okay, because chances are you could connect with someone else where that potential is there. And for those of you in an established bond, what a remarkable time this can be. In established bonds, your partner is going to be that much easier, that much sweeter, lighter to be around, to get along with. If you already have that with your partner, it'll only amplify now. And if it is that you have felt that perhaps there have been some things that need to be worked through, or maybe even for that very small percentage of Aries out there, If you felt for a while that maybe you're not in the right relationship for you, you're able to see this person more from that heart perspective. I think that a lot of these energies with Mars and with Venus say it may not be the time to say that you're ready to go in a whole other direction, at least not just yet. It's more like there's enough optimism to give it another go. What I love about this week for you, there's so much here. It is a powerful and meaningful astrological moment. I am going to say, well, look, we've got big energies, but your ruling planet Mars changing signs is a big deal. Having Mars move into fellow fire sign Sagittarius means you're able to tap into that energy with that much more ease and, excitement as well. In many ways, it may feel as if the world opens up to you, but it is your own spirit of adventure that is more up for engagement. Therefore, those adventures that you so crave now, they'll just have a way of finding you. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com for as low as just $3 a month with choose your membership rate. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.